I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married.
Ayesha Curry is so ungrateful. Her husband definitely trapped her with a baby. She is definitely Steph Curry's number one enemy.
Oh, Aisha Corey is being called out for saying that she never wanted kids. Let's talk about it. Hey, beautiful people, how y'all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome to my channel. How y'all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So, Aisha Corey, Steph Curry's wife, is out here on Call Daddy podcast, and she's revealed that growing up, she was one of those young girls that never wanted kids. She never wanted kids. She never wanted marriage. She wanted to have a career of her own. And now, many years down the line, after being married to her husband for a long time and having children, she's sitting down and she's expressing the need that that was something she never wanted to do. She did it because it just happened and all that. And some people are saying that, oh, this is not a good look on her. Why is she saying this now? It makes her look some type of way because she wanted to talk about how her husband don't understand it when she tried to explain it to him that this is not the life she wants, even though this is the life she has. Her husband kept telling her that that is not real. This is your reality. And she said this is something that she always talk about in therapy. But the conversation, yeah, some people think that she's just trying to pander to women that are going child free or women that are very vocal about centering themselves. Some people are saying that yeah, she's probably could have felt this way. Why some people are saying that obviously maybe this is a proof that you can have it all and still not feel fulfilled and be miserable because obviously she looks like she has it all. She has the rich, tall, dark, handsome husband, but still feels this way. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this video, people's reaction to it, and then we'll come back and talk more.
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something and then it kind of just disappeared and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm
Yeah.
not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience
Okay.
that. I still experience that. I'm almost like I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
Ayesha Curry is a perfect example of why it is so important to have a hoe phase. Go be a hoe. Be a hoe. But be a safe hoe though. Like protect yourself and don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped. Trapped with Steph Curry. Sometimes you gotta go through some stuff to really appreciate what you have. She probably ain't never been hoed. She probably ain't never been drugged through the mud by a dude. She probably never been. She probably never had her heart broken time and time and time again. That's why she can't really appreciate what she has because it's like, I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff. This being married to Steph Curry, this shit is boring. And now she's really rebelling. She want to be in the streets. She want to be desired by other men. She probably want to do something with another man because she probably never experienced that. Like, when did they get together? Like high school or something? That is not enough time to be out in the world and do stuff and experience stuff. Like, you don't have to experience a whole lot, but I don't think she experienced anything at all. And now she's tied down, married with kids. You can't go do your thing right now unless you go do your thing and run the risk. Like, you ain't just no Lucinda from down the block. You're Ayesha Curry. If you gonna mess with anybody, trust me, we gonna know about it.
Ayesha, why are you lying? All of her answers on that interview seem like they were concocted in a focus group, a PR lab with her team to make her seem more relevant. Because women who don't really want to get married don't get married at 22. They don't. They don't have their first child within the first year or two and then proceed to have a bunch of stepping stones. That lineup. She definitely want to get married. She definitely want to have kids. Her team must have got online and say, what is current among regular degular women? And this independent, anti-male, anti-marriage, anti-children rhetoric is heavy right now. Let's use that to see if it gains any traction. Because her actions do not line up with what she said. And wasn't one of her first brands, cookware, capitalizing off of being a stay-at-home mom and wife, and which is fine to have your own money. That's wise to be able to do your own thing. But coming up with this weird, I never really wanted to get married, I never wanted to have kids, I never wanted a big family. Like, ma'am, like, we see you. We see you.
Okay. Ayesha Curry's so ungrateful. Her husband definitely trapped her with a baby. She is definitely Steph Curry's #1 enemy. Or she is saying exactly what a lot of women feel right now. People don't talk about the fact that when they meet someone really young, they get pressured into marrying them, becoming a wife, becoming a mom, because that is just societal standards and expectations. It is very common for women to lose themselves when they become a wife and a mother. They lose all of the goals that they may have had, their identity, who they were before, their self-love, self-awareness. That's why a lot of people, when they become moms, only talk about their children. They lost who they were. I didn't even watch the entire interview, but hearing clips of the interview, I'm just like, yeah, she's saying what a lot of people have already mentioned. I had dreams and goals of my own before I just became Steph Curry's wife. What is so wrong with that? No one is saying she's a terrible mother. No one is saying that she hates being a mother. She just said she never envisioned herself being a mom and getting married. There's nothing wrong with that because here she is today. Does she regret it? It sounds like it. It sounds like she's probably reflecting and like, I wanted to be someone outside of my husband's wife. There's nothing wrong with that. She can still do it. But I just feel like a lot of the women who are like, I'll take him. One, he doesn't want you. Two, it's probably something that her therapist should do a better job of exploring with her. If she's talking about this and she's still feeling this way and it's been like years, there's something wrong.
She didn't say anything wrong. A lot of women get married and pregnant in their early 20s before they actually know themselves and before they know what they actually want to do with their lives. A lot of it is because of the societal pressures that's placed on women. You can't wait until your 30s or 40s because then you'll be too old. And in your 20s, you shouldn't be worried about a career or your education or starting a business because then you might run the risk of losing an opportunity to be somebody's wife and have somebody's baby. And that's the stupidest shit that was taught to us. Focusing on yourself, let alone building a career while you're taking care of kids and uplifting your husband is extremely difficult and sometimes unsatisfying. And as a woman, you are not allowed to say that without facing a whole bunch of shame. But I don't give a shit about shame. If you let what society says run your life, it will run you into the ground. Women are not allowed to talk about the realities of being a wife and a mother, especially a mother. When I made a video talking about what motherhood really was, so many people, especially women, were mad at my comments. Well, I don't feel that way. My children gave me purpose. Without them, I wouldn't even have a reason to be here. Well, that's your purpose. One person's purpose might be another person's personal hell, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing. Ayesha Curry is the result of a woman that followed the natural progression of things. You're supposed to meet a man and have a baby immediately. And that's why people were so mad at her when she said, women should cover up. Women should cover up like we were all taught. And then she said, well, maybe a bikini isn't so bad. And maybe it's fun to have a fat ass. Might be. You won't know unless you try it, Ayesha. Women are mad at Ayesha because she's living their dream life. You found a rich man that takes care of you and you don't have to do anything but sit on your ass all day. You should just be happy. But she didn't say that she wasn't happy. She's expressing the differences between reality and expectations. Everybody wants a rich man. Diddy's rich. You want to go over there? You want to play in baby oil basements? Men are mad at her because Ayesha breaks the illusion of women will just be happy and satisfied with me if I have money. They'll just be happy to be in my presence. But that's not true. These same men finally get money, but then they're confused when they don't feel loved by the women that they chose. And you can't tell them the reality of the situation, which is that woman doesn't really love you. She's with you for your money. Like you might have been chasing a fantasy built off your expectations, so you chose a baddie and ended up a saddy daddy. You ended up a saddy daddy. More and more women are coming out and being honest about their experiences. I'm happy being a wife and a mother, but this is harder than I expected. I thought I would be more satisfied. I thought this would give me a purpose. But then I found out that I still have to find myself, still have to get to know myself and give myself purpose. So if you want to wipe 10 asses or shake ass in 10 different cities, both are equally acceptable, and women are allowed to choose whatever path they want to choose at whatever age and stage of life they're in. Be as difficult as you can today.
Ayesha Curry is allowed to want things. Not every girl aspires to be a housewife. And there are housewives who did not expect to become a housewife. I'm sure some of them expected to have a career of their own. It doesn't mean they're not grateful. It just means that they had their own dreams. That's all Ayesha was saying in the Call Me Daddy interview. Let's stop taking something that was supposed to be a vulnerable moment, a vulnerable conversation, and turn it into something that it's not. I'm sure she's very grateful for the life that she has. I'm sure she loves being a mother. I'm sure she loves being a wife to Steph Curry. When she was a little girl, she wasn't sitting in her room hoping and praying that she would just be someone's wife. Some women actually want more than just that. Let's not play delusional. We know what she was saying. She did not disrespect Steph Curry whatsoever. That man loves her, and it's clear as day. So if he doesn't have a problem with what's coming out of her mouth, why do y'all?
This whole conversation surrounding Ayesha Curry's latest comment is hilarious to me, because for years women have been saying she's probably not all that fulfilled. She has whatever issues with women who are free and independent, and that's why she keeps making these crazy underhanded comments. And men were like, you're just jealous. Baby, she doesn't even want her life. Who's jealous? But this notion that somehow women are being so mean if they just hold her accountable and don't give ceaseless labor goes back to the idea women are always expected to make up the labor shortfall. She said out of her own mouth, her husband doesn't understand her. Her husband says they basically get over these feelings and they're not real and why do you care? Her husband should be the one supporting her. But people expect women to give labor no matter the circumstances. Once again, people want to extract benefits from something they have never paid into. Ayesha Curry has alienated the public of women at large. Okay, she has not been kind. She has honestly been quite condescending, and I don't buy all that, oh, she was young stuff. She and I are the same age. We were born the same month in 1989, and I knew when she was making her dumbass comments that they were dumb and that they were meant to be cutting to women. And I knew back then when she was talking about, oh, I just keep it covered up for the one who matters. I save my good stuff. I said, she's jealous. And I don't buy into this whole idea that she's so miserable because she never had a hoe phase. First of all, that's still giving men the power to define you. Oh, she only had one man. If she had had a bunch of men, that sounds like a nightmare. And honestly, the women who had the hoe phase in the industry, look at them. They don't seem like they're too much better off mentally. She's feeling dissatisfied and wrestling with these big concepts because she was told you are secondary in your own life and went along with it. She didn't want those things. People told her, oh, well, this is the brass ring. This is the best you can ever do. Being married to a basketball player, being Mrs. Steph Curry is better than having your own identity. Mm-hmm. She fell for it hook, line, and sinker, has found it is in fact not better, and has been struggling to carve out her own identity ever since. But it's too late now. Actions speak louder than words. I Googled her to get a picture for this piece, and the first thing that cropped up was Canadian American actress. And I said, she's Canadian? She's an actress? What are you talking about? And they referenced her shows on Food Network and this and that, whatever. I haven't heard of most of that stuff. But you know straight away from her name who she's married to, because that's the only thing that's ever really been publicized about her. And she can try to do it backwards now And you can build businesses and make a lot of money, but you will never build a brand. Ask Cookie Johnson, ask Shawnee, who was married to Shaq. You will never escape from the label of being connected with that man. It's going to be the first thing people always think when they think of your name. What's so interesting about this is at a time when America is desperately trying to propagandize young women into getting married and having more children, their propaganda is bound to fail because all the women who have done this work for the past 15, 20, 25 years are coming out and saying once again how unfulfilling it's been, how miserable they've been, even in the best of circumstances. And I think the Curry marriage is such a great example because while I haven't heard about him cheating on her or anything like that, he doesn't seem particularly interested. This is no Russell Wilson who it's like everything I do is for my wife and he's just excited to be with her. I remember after she made her initial comments about wanting to stay covered up and be modest, that, she tried to make it seem like they were having such an exciting life in marriage. And she started dressing more racy and trying to do like more kind of not explicit, but just, suggestive posing with him. And that man looked so uninterested and their chemistry was non-existent. They are just giving people who married because it was convenient. He needed a wife to solidify a certain image for the NBA, and also because, he needed her labor. He needed the person to keep the home fires burning so he could go out there and be Steph Curry. And I can appreciate how much she's contributed to his success, but I don't know that he can. Because though he may not say it, she's interchangeable. She's just a carbon-based, woman-shaped life form who he happened to marry. But anybody could be doing that same labor in his mind. And you're saying you don't know that if that weren't the case, how come he's not empathizing when she's telling him about her struggles? How come he's not saying, oh my God, how can I help? How can I make this better? You have improved my life so much. How can I fix any problem that you have when this woman is pouring her heart out? That's why she came to the general public. And women, back to you, this is why they come on these platforms, because they want your labor. They want you to make up for what they are not getting and are never honestly going to get from their husbands. I'm so glad women are not feeding into it. I'm so glad women are like, hey, you're the one who's been throwing pot shots all this time. Why are you now looking to us to solve the problem? If having a husband and whatnot is so superior, how come you're not getting this font of relief that you need from that source? And look at how the men who once upon a time called her just this paragon of womanly virtue are now treating her. Killer Mike is out here screaming, how come you're embarrassing Steph Curry? He didn't deserve that. All these NBA dudes are talking about what she should have said, shouldn't have said, and how she should be grateful because at least she got married. The men are flaming her. They have no empathy. Do not let men put you on a pedestal because then they have the power to throw you down. But once again, you should realize they will only pedestalize those who are serving them at the moment. At the time, she was younger, she was much younger. She was the ideal 20-something that they could put on a pedestal to, weaponize against other women. And now that she's 36 and dissatisfied and speaking out on a platform where women might hear her and form some different conclusions, they want to throw her down and abuse her and talk about how it's all her fault. Pick-me's never prosper. And if you ever doubt what I'm saying about marriage culture and how it's a big scam, it's nothing but a big pyramid scheme to get your labor, look around you. This is the best propaganda they have to offer. And this woman looks like she wants to chew off her own foot to escape. And she's been talking about dealing with the struggles and the depression and everything attendant to this marriage for years and years now, nigh on a decade. The propaganda they're trying to sell you right now is that, oh, well, if you meet the right guy, if you meet that millionaire, billionaire, if he's tall, if he's accomplished. She is married to one of the best players in the NBA, and I suppose he's tall enough. And it's been apparently not all that fun. Don't fall for the hype, okay? Go out there, live your own life, define yourself. That's it. Doctor's orders. Like and follow for more.
I agree. I have so much to say about this video, but please let me know what you think about this video, this conversation down in the comment section. Do you think that Ayesha Curry disrespected Curry for saying what she said, or do you think that that is her speaking her truth, or do you think that this is more like a PR stunt which she's trying to pander to women that are child free and like telling women to center themselves. Let me know your own take about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful here on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Love to know what you think. So here's my own take on this. Like, I just feel like the entire perspective of everybody saying what they think is happening here, I feel like everything, like multiple things can be true at the same time. But do I think this is just a PR move? No. This is coming from somebody like a couple of years ago, I was pregnant. A couple of years ago, I thought I wanted to be a mom. A couple of years ago, I will get pregnant. Okay, I've been pregnant a couple of times, and this is why I said like this, like on my own platform, like on this channel, I feel the need to always share my story when I have the opportunity like this. A lot of the times when you're young, especially when you are in a society, which a lot of us are, that glamorize being married and having children, and then that thing is being presented in front of you. I and my husband, we dated for 10 years before we got married. Now married for 12 years. So I remember getting into this marriage, and I remember the first year everybody was womb watching me. Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? It just put that pressure on you that even though that's what you want deep down in your heart, sometimes you can't even vocalize it. I started vocalizing I don't want kids a couple of years ago. I could not vocalize this some years ago because society would judge me. And someone like Ayesha, she got married in her 20s. Obviously, she already said it that, oh, that was not something that was on her plate. She was not one of those girls that dream of weddings and all that. But whether I like it or not, as she grows in her young 20s, she found somebody that wants to marry her. Everybody will call her a fool for not wanting to marry at that time. I'm like, oh, what are you waiting for? You find this lovely guy that loves you, wants to marry you, so why don't you want to get married? You see, that pressure has put a lot of women to get married even though before they want. And that's why you see a lot of women that got married in their 20s, in their 30s, or even their 30s. You see them, they usually think like, I would have done things differently. I got married on my 29th birthday, and I'll say, and I'm still saying that I got married on my 29th birthday, and I could say that I would have done things really differently. If I know myself the way I know myself now, I probably wouldn't have gotten married. And I have this conversation a lot of time. You're telling you people how the institution of marriage does not serve you as a woman. So I do understand where Aisha Corey is coming from. Even though that was her greatest desire deep down in her heart, when the opportunity presented themselves for her to get married and have kids, she did not see any reason or any reinforcement around her that was able to be a sense of reasoning to her. I remind you, she was young. And at that time, you're very impressionable. You want to do things that society expects of you because society standard of success for women is getting married and having kids. So why won't you want to be successful? Why won't you want to take the opportunity that makes you a successful woman when it's right in front of you? You just married this man that loves you, you loves him, and now you're pregnant. Why would you want to get rid of the pregnancy? Do you guys see what I'm saying? But I do happy, like for myself, I'm happy that now a lot of women are very comfortable having this conversation and talking about it. Like I said, I was one of those women that thought she wanted a child. I was one of those women that I was like, yeah, a baby and all that. I was even preparing for a baby and all that. But now I am the one that is speaking and saying that, you know what, I don't want kids. I'm actively not trying to have kids. I'm protecting myself not to have kids because I don't want them. And that's what I thought about this thing why I was even much younger, a young teenage girl. But because of society pressure, I cannot water that thought. I could not comprehend that thought because people thought I was crazy the few times as a young woman that I brought those things up. So yeah, I do get where she's coming from, and I'm super, super excited that a lot of women were having the conversation and being honest. And sometimes it even comes with age because I feel like the older I get and when I start going to therapy, just make me be very, very self-conscious and aware and be very vocal for the things I want out of my life. And I've gotten a lot of people, I think I should post that video where I responded to a lot of people asking me questions about going child transferring and being married is because a lot of people are like, oh, so what if your husband wants to have kids? If I would do it for my husband, I won't. A lot of women a lot of women thought about not having kids but decided to have kids because that's what the man they are with wanted. So that's a way for them to keep the man, to keep the marriage, to keep the reunion. And this, it has been a lot of emotional blackmail for women. So yeah, I kind of get where she's coming from, and the fact that now she wants to claim her power and do her thing. And I do understand her husband not understanding it, because I feel like a lot of men don't get it, because society has also told them that is their right. Oh, you marry a woman, she's going to give you a child, that's going to carry out your legacy. So yeah, I kind of understand the conversation, and I appreciate such conversation for women in their late 30s, mid 30s, that actively, the ones that went ahead to have kids, the one that they ever thought of having kids, now vocally saying that, you know what, I don't want to really do this. I only wanted to do it because that's what was expected of me. Anyway, guys, that's that. Oh, before I conclude this video, I also want to say that as a young girl, if you're in your early 20s, don't allow anybody pressurize you. If you're thinking about it, if you're second guessing whether you want to be a mother, ask yourself, why do you, even when, if you're not second guessing, you want to be a mother, you crave your motherhood is the thing for you. Ask yourself, why do you want to be a mother? Because a lot of the time, like I said, being a mother, being a wife is being so glamorized that a lot of women, when they get in there, just like Aisha Curry, it's almost like the expectation that society sold to you is not what the reality is, and then you put a lot of women in that dark place. But sometimes some of those women are not able to come out to vocalize it, they just internalize it, and then they live misery. So when you're thinking about getting married, having kids, ask yourself, why do you want it, and how do you picture it? And if you are in a relationship with somebody that you think is not going to give you at that moment, that's what it is always going to be. So don't futurize it and say, oh, it's going to get better in the future. No, if it's not better now, don't do it. Anyway, guys, go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead, feel free, share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.